Hello everyone! Welcome back to the Dwarves. We have successfully gone through the orc camp, which is a
A
good
hard
thing.
path lies ahead of you, down into the valley, and then up into the snow-covered mountains. It will be difficult, if not impossible, to climb back afterwards. You should be sure that you've made all the necessary preparations before you continue.
Yeah, we're not going to waste any more provisions. Going back over through here.
You reach a large frozen lake surrounded by a thick pine forest. The quickest way would be to walk straight over the ice, but you don't know how stable it is. The detour through the forest would be safer, but would also take much longer.
Well,
The snow between the trees is deep, and you make very slow
better
progress.
safe than sorry.
The shadows are growing longer, and when you finally make it through the woods, it's already the dead of night.
Perhaps we should set up camp here before we wind up getting lost.
Okay.
It makes more sense to set up camp for the night than to wander through the woods in the dark. You light a huge fire, and the next morning you set off again, fully rested. While you rest under a ledge at noon, Rodario and Fergus decide to go ice fishing, and the dwarves immediately pronounce their opposition.
Ice and water are both treacherous. They entice you to them. Before you know it, you disappear into them forever.
Like in a marriage, you mean? At first the woman entices you, but if you stay in her arms like a good boy, the good life is over all too quickly.
The good life, in which you go behind the backs of other men, get beaten up and one day die painfully of a sexually transmitted disease.
All slander, my dear.
Rodario bares his teeth for a moment, and then follows Fergus to the shore.
He reminds me of a billy goat we used to have. Mounted everything that got in its way. One day, he mounted a goat that was standing too close to a cliff. The two of them fell down the cliff in the best of spirits.
Yeah, that was funny.
It snows all day, and the cold wind continues to get stronger. The dwarves trudge stubbornly on, but at some point Fergus can take it no longer.
Oh, we are walking right into the eye of a blizzard.
We have snowstorms in the Brown Range too. If you get caught in a storm while hunting, you simply wait it out in a snow cave.
The blizzard will be on us before we can build a snow cave. We should look for a sheltered spot and light a fire.
Look
You
for a
set
shelter.
off to look for a cave or another comfortable place to shelter. The storm is becoming stronger, and after an hour you have to admit that your search has been fruitless. You huddle up between the roots of some large trees, the best protection you can find in the storm. Fergus tries to light an alchemic fire, but the flames are blown out by the storm after only a few seconds. The next morning, you continue on your journey half frozen.
That's not good.
Your path leads you over
Oh,
a snowy,
jeez.
hilly plain, and as you scale a particularly steep hill, you falter. A crevasse opens out in front of you. You look around, but there isn't any point nearby where you could cross over the gap.
Well, I don't. Sure.
You
Why
attach
not?
a rope to a huge rock and abseil
can't go
down,
wrong, right?
one after the other. The floor of the crevasse is darker and colder than you'd expected. The sun hardly ever reaches down this deep. You light torches and look around. At some distance you notice the entrance to a cave which seems to wind upwards on the other side, but you can't be sure that this path leads out. You are
Explore the cave.
afraid that you might get lost in the ice cave and freeze to death in misery. But ultimately, your curiosity is rewarded. You find after an hour's search a winding passage that leads you to a large chamber. You walk ahead with your torch outstretched and see a shadow in the ice. You step backwards in shock as you realize that it's the body of a frozen human. Something glittering in the floor grabs Goimgar's attention. An ornamented gold shield. Part of it is frozen into the ice, but it should be easy to free.
Pure gold! This thing must be worth quite a bit, though it would be completely useless in a fight.
I mean, we've robbed the dead before.
You
Sure.
allow Goimgar to free the shield from its icy prison. After you've had a look around the rest of the chamber and taken a short break, you look for a way back up to the surface. You are able to continue on your way without any further delay.
Nice. I can't even see the points. There we go. And huzzah!
You finally arrive at the entrance to a valley that curves its way towards Ironhald, the Firstling stronghold.
Hope there's some provisions here.
By Vracus, we've done it!
Oh! Oh!
Up there!
Mother!
Run! I can't maintain the spell for long!
Put him on Goimgar's shield. To the gate. Quick!
Oh, that can't be good.
As you approach the first gate, you see guards on the battlements. You call as you run.
By Vracus, we are dwarves of the kingdoms of the Secondlings and the Fourthlings. Open the gate!
Their leader gives orders that you cannot hear, but moments later, the gate opens up for you.
Report back! Man the walls and the defences!
The guards follow the orders immediately.
Who are you that lead the Alpha to our door?
How dare you speak to us like that? Dwarf who seems to have no name?
Boindale steps forward before you can stop him.
I am Boindle Doubleblade, a child of the smith of Burrowin folk. And that is my brother Boindal, who needs a healer immediately.
The commander pulls down his scarf, and his face leaves you speechless.
Only a dwarf could make such a fuss. Balander Steelfinger. I protect the main gate of the Firstlings, therefore it is my duty to regard all guests precisely before I invite them in.
But you were a woman.
You have a keen eye, Boindle Doubleblade.
The tender features and soft fluff leave no room for doubt. A female dwarf is the commander of the guard. She gives orders for the injured Boindal to be taken care of. 4 dwarves pick him up on his shield, and Boindale follows them.
Stay with your brother. I will bring the rest of you to Queen Zamtis, where you can explain what you're doing here.
Well, at least we're in safety now, right? We're supposed to be going through here to the lands beyond, right? That's what we're doing here. The perished land. Was not expecting that music, but that was pretty cool. She was wielding like a great axe and a shield at the same time. That's pretty sweet.
Come closer, and be welcome to the kingdom of the Firstlings.
I am Tungdil Goldhand of the Fourthling Kingdom.
You introduce your companions one by one, not forgetting to mention the twins and the Mager too. You then explain the reason for your visit. You report on the advance of the Perish Land, the death of the Magi, and the dispute about the next High King. The dark brown eyes of the Queen fix on you for a moment before she speaks.
What you report sounds very serious, Tungdil. You can be sure of the support of the Firstlings. How may we assist you?
I like her crown. Yeah.
There is only one way to defeat Nodon. Keenfire. To forge it, we need the best smith your kingdom has to offer. Help us, and thus help your kingdom, my queen.
The Queen considers, then nods.
So be it. Could there ever be a better time to revive the old commonality of the kingdoms? Balandis here is not only my best warrior, she is also my best smith. She will accompany you.
Your eyes fall upon Balandis, and you notice the blood rushing to your cheeks.
I will do my best. You can trust in my axe and my hammer.
Oh, is he smitten?
We must continue on our journey to the Firstlings in the Grey Range.
Then I will show you the entrance to the tunnels. You will be in the Perish Land within a few orbits.
You know the tunnels, but still the Firstlings live in seclusion.
Our isolation was self-imposed. My mother knew that the other kingdoms would not simply accept her as the queen. She wanted to give them time to get used to it.
Your Highness, in the name of the Council of the Kingdoms, I request that you send a delegation to the Blue Range to take part in the discussions. We all have a common enemy.
There has never been any enmity between my kingdom and the others. It was more neglected friendship and habit that has made us strangers to one another. As soon as you set off for the Grey Range, we will head east to see our brothers and sisters again. I will have rooms prepared for you and your companions so that you can rest. It has been some time since we have had guests, but we still know what hospitality means. Come to me when you are ready to depart.
Nice. Very friendly. Oh, yeah, let's see what we can interact with here. Let's look at this water wheel.
You guess that this water powers all the machines in the underground city. A masterpiece of engineering.
Nice. Alright.
Hello.
What is it, Tungdil?
Oh, Tungdil. Oh boy. I don't know if that's how you want to break the ice.
What is it like living with the Firstlings? I haven't seen much yet, but many things seem to be different to life with the Secondlings in Ogre's Death.
I can't make any real comparisons either. I grew up here and have never left our kingdom. I can hardly wait to see the halls of the Firstlings. They were the best smiths before we took on the mantle.
Don't expect too much. Their halls have been in the hands of the enemy for over 1,000 cycles.
I read that the orcs avoid the stronghold, as if there were a curse on it.
Even reading doesn't seem to be frowned upon among the Firstlings. You feel at home here. But that isn't only down to the books.
I mean, I guess we'll say this. Though it's a silly observation.
It would seem that a lot of important positions are occupied by female dwarves in the Firstling Kingdom.
Is it not common where you come from that men and women share the duties?
Of course. Among the humans and the Secondlings, the women help out in the house so that the men have time for their duties. That's how it is written in the books, too.
Here, posts are assigned according to the skills of the applicant, not gender. It's only natural that the most important posts are occupied by women.
She winks at you and gives you a knowing glance, although the whole thing still befuddles you.
See you later.
That was too much for him. He's just like, I can't handle this. I gotta go. Enter the throne room. Sure. Let's look at the abyss.
The second dwarf stronghold you have ever seen also impresses you greatly. The Firstling stronghold is very different to Ogre's Death, but you'd rather not say which you prefer.
So she just kind of came out of the blue.
Ah, Tungdil. I was wondering when you would pay me a visit.
I thank you, and Jeroen, you appeared at the right moment. May I, ask why?
It was down to you. Your speech about the responsibility I owe to my realm. Lot Yonan was a good teacher.
Her face darkens when she thinks of her old companion.
There are 100 reasons that Nodon deserves to die. That is why I went back to the Secondlings and took another look through the books. I discovered a passage that said Keenfire can only take its effect against evil when it is wielded by a foe of the Undergrounders.
A foe of the Undergrounders? It's going to be difficult to persuade an orc to help us.
I didn't mean to eavesdrop, but I think I might have an answer to the problem. The Alpha are also your foes, aren't they?
What the...
Half human, half elf. My mother bequeathed me her gifts and her weapons. I got very little from my father, but his eyes are an advantage.
So you are half elf, like the bad elf.
We should keep your parentage secret, especially from Geralda.
I'm in no doubt that the Alfar did terrible things to her. And I'm not keen on letting her kill me.
If what Namora told me earlier is true, this Geralda could be just as great a danger as Nodon. She could take control of generals or kings, maybe even me.
You are aware of the danger, but you don't have the energy to think about it right now. You push the problem aside.
Then that's agreed. We will keep Namora's secret to ourselves. And you're sure that only a foe of the Undergrounders can use Keenfire?
Anyone can use it like a normal axe, but only a foe of the Undergrounders can command its magical powers. I don't know much about her, but a half-elf should pass as a foe of all dwarves.
Okay. Sure.
All right then. You will wield Keenfire in the battle against Nodon. But we're going to have to make it first.
You said it.
The actress takes her leave with a little nod.
Huh.
How are things with Jeroen? Could you help him?
He's doing well. He should be back to full strength after some rest.
You still don't know what kind of being is hidden under the armor. But the Mager's powers seem to have done a good job.
The Firstlings have offered to improve his armor. And when one of the best smiths in Girdlegard offers something like that, you should definitely take them up on it.
How are you and your powers? You look a little exhausted.
I won't lie to you. It has already been too long since I was in a place where I can draw new strength. My power is trickling away like water from a leaky pipe.
Is that perhaps a way to weaken Nodon?
No, I wouldn't count on that. Even if we could keep him away from the magical realms, the being that lives within him has given him unknown powers.
How was Synthras able to overcome your shield? Can Alfar use magic?
No, certainly not. I don't know much about their people, but I think they have innate powers. Conjuring darkness, extinguishing fire, changing dreams. Little things that fill humans with fear and ensure the potency of terrifying legends about their people. Syntherast used a trick, not a spell. We killed 2 Alfar near Sovereignstone. They had crystals on them which they had received from Nodon to protect them from the spells of the Magi. He must have used a stone like that.
Take some rest. And I hope you'll still be here at dawn.
The Mager gives you a reproachful look.
Don't worry. We'll stand by you until this expedition has reached its destination.
It feels good having the Mager and her companion at your side again.
Man, our party is large. But we can still only use 4 people in a fight. Who are you? Oh, Geralda.
Geralda looks depressed.
You look like something's bothering you.
It's just... they avoid me. You're the only one who talks to me.
Yeah, well, you did try to kill us when we first met you.
Geralda gives a wry smile.
Not exactly the best of first impressions, right?
You're not a bad person, Geralda. Just give them some time. You said you wanted to join the Free Folk. What do you know about them?
To be honest, I don't know very much at all. It is said they are like a kingdom, just without a kingdom. No clans, no obligations and traditions, no repressive expectations. Just dwarves living together.
And where do I find them?
Well, everywhere. And nowhere. They hide. I think I almost found one of their cities. I don't know anymore.
See you later.
Okay. Oh, I didn't even... She's sitting on... Okay. I was like, where is she?
Namora, may I speak with you? I was wondering how you ended up being an actress with Rodario and Fergus.
I have seen many places and done many things that I would like to forget. For a long time, I didn't know what to do with my life. But then I met Fergus. There are no secrets between us. I have never had to pretend with him. He introduced me to Rodario, and I feared the worst, but he was delighted. He immediately wrote me into a new play.
That sounds like Rodario. Your parents, relationships between humans and Alfar is uncommon.
My mother brought me up on her own. I don't know what happened to my father.
You look at her compassionately. Namora notices your expression and shrugs her shoulders.
I never knew him, so I don't miss him.
You don't believe her. You never got to know your parents either. But you still miss them even though Lot Yonan raised you.
This might be a strange question, but do you sometimes wish...
That I wasn't half elf? Of course I've thought about it. But what's the point? This is how I was born, how I am, and it's something I can't change. And well, perhaps it might now serve some benefit for the first time. My heritage could be the key to saving Girdlegard.
See you later.
Could be. This is a big place.
It is simply legendary. No, it is mythical. We definitely need a large theatre so we can convey the impression of this grandeur to the spectators.
It's going to be difficult, but we'll manage it. But it will be more expensive.
It would appear you like it here.
Ha! Like it? It is fabulous. I almost feel like giving up. Not even the best of illusions could possibly imitate this. But say, what brings you to us, Tungdil?
Yeah, sure, let's start
Why
with that.
didn't you say that Namora is half-elf?
If our spectators knew, they would run away screaming. So I'm sure you'll understand that we couldn't tell a group of armed dwarves either.
You have to admit that you don't know how you would have reacted if Namora had revealed herself in Mifadania. Fear and hatred of the Alpha is deeply rooted.
You already know her, Tungdil. She has skills, but her lineage does not determine how she thinks and acts. She is the love of my life, and I would go crazy if I were to lose her.
And that's why I think either you or she is going to die, maybe even both. Because this game, I should say the story, doesn't really shy away from very sad things.
Every step from here on is more dangerous than the last. Are you sure you want to continue on our journey with us?
Of course. Every story needs an end. What kind of play would it be without a third act?
There is no way I'm going to let Namora ride into battle on her own. I will be there to assist her.
Okay.
And how is your new play coming along?
Good, very good. The band of adventurers who set off to defeat Nodon, aided by the Queen of the Dwarves from the kingdom of the Firstlings. It's going to be a real challenge to present this story in all its greatness.
Do you already have a title?
I haven't decided for sure yet, but at the moment I'm thinking along the lines of the heroic dwarves and their loyal companions who opposed Nodon despite all the challenges to destroy him and save Girdlegard.
That's a long title.
Rest now.
Rest? Haven't you seen? There are machines that keep the whole city alive. I must take a look.
Huh. Okay, let's see if we can go in here. Check out on the twins.
Tungdil.
How is he?
He's lost a hell of a lot of blood.
The crazy glint in Boindale's eyes has given way to serious concern.
I'm doing fine. You must rest, brother. Stay on your back so the wounds can heal. Fortunately, he hasn't lost his pig-headedness. As long as he has that, he'll come through.
Boindale forces a grin, but you can imagine what he's really thinking and feeling.
I thought Andakai was going to look after him. Didn't her magic help?
We don't want her help. Magic is no use. And we certainly don't want anything to do with Samerson.
You know there is no point arguing with the twins about magic. There is too much of a fine line between conviction and stubbornness. Boindale would rather die than be healed by the Maga.
We'll have to go on without him. He won't manage more than 100 paces without dropping down dead the state he's in.
No! I'll manage, Scholar. Just give me 2 orbits, then I'll be fine. It's just a scratch.
Boindale tries to stand up, but he doesn't have the strength. You shake your head.
Stay here and recover, Boindale. We'll meet you again in time for the big battle against Nodon. You have done your bit.
But where one of us is, the other is too. It is the greatest deed that has ever been carried out by our people. Oh. It would seem you are right, Scholar.
We'll be separated for the first time in our lives. I will miss you by my side in battle. The first 100 runts will be for you.
You will have to protect him and the others on your own now, brother. Don't take on too much, and rein in your frenzy. You must control your anger better than you usually do. Promise me.
I promise.
Tears run down the bearded cheeks of the two twins. They have never had to part like this before.
Well, I mean, at least he's alive. No, in this game, I would not have been surprised if it was just like, well, he's dead now. So what is this way out here? Can I even go past these two? I don't think so, right? This is the edge. So I guess now we just enter the throne room and continue on. I don't see any traitors or anything. I guess we can look at the lift.
The inventiveness of your people still impresses you and fills you with pride for being a dwarf.
3,000 gold, and I just really want to spend most of it on provisions. I don't think I'm missing anything. Alright.
I've gathered all of the metal we need for Keenfire. I'm ready to depart.
You nod and then look her solemnly in the eyes.
Once we set off, stay in the background, keep out of fights, and avoid all danger.
The female dwarf's expression darkens.
Shall we engage in a trial fight, Mr. Dwarf?
No, no, Bifracus. No, I know that female dwarves can fight. It's because of the axe. You're the only one who can forge it. If something happens to you, we won't be able to stop Nodon.
The face of the smith relaxes, and then a smile appears on her lips.
I can look after myself.
I hope so, because I'm going to be putting her into combat. She looks badass. This camera angle.
Greetings, Queen Zamtis.
The queen bows her head slightly, prompting you to speak.
Sure.
Please excuse me for asking, Your Highness, but how is it that a queen is sitting on the firstling throne?
The queen smiles. She has clearly been expecting the question.
It began with an argument. My father valued my mother's advice, but disputed her ability to lead the kingdom. This frustrated her, and she demanded the chance to prove the contrary. In the end, they agreed that my mother would govern the Firstlings for 14 orbits. During this time, there was an attack by trolls, and my mother put them to flight with cunning and bravery. When my father demanded the throne again, she defied him, and the clans followed her. The other kingdoms were appalled and refused to receive my mother, but our kingdom saw that she was a good queen. And when she died 230 cycles ago, the people demanded that I should follow her onto the throne.
Is everything ready for our journey to the kingdom of the Firstlings?
We have provided wagons for you and your companions. Are your preparations complete?
Yeah? I don't think I missed anything down there.
Yes, we are ready.
The queen nods slowly.
Rally your companions. I will march east with my host, but don't be misled. The fate of the perished land is in your hands, not mine. May you succeed and return unhurt. Vrakas be with you.
And so now we're going to the far north.
The plains of Tabain are the most fertile in Girdlegard, and rightly give the kingdom its nickname of the breadbasket. The east of the land has been in revolt since the perished land advanced, and the peace seems to have broken in the heartland too, as a group of strangers crawl out of a hole in the ground.
Why don't we just look for a tunnel that hasn't collapsed?
And what if we don't find one? If we're overground, we at least know that there's a way, even if it's dangerous. Let's go.
Where are we? Oh, hey. Level. Okay, so now we have Endakai again. We have... God, we have so many people. So many people, and a lot of them are so cool. You already had Dragon's Breath, right? Level 10. Drinks the brew from his water skin and heals himself immensely. Nice. Okay. Now, how do we actually change... There we go. So we do have to change. Yeah, 3 of 3. I have been forgetting to mess with this stuff. But actually, we want Blade Storm. The one I don't... Well... No, we'll do that. I don't really use Charge. Get those. Oh, man. I like all of these things. Right, the Acid Cloud. So you do a bunch of AoE stuff. Oh my god, so many people. Auto attack hits several enemies. Okay. Rams enemy with her shield. He is knocked back. Damages others in his path. Okay. Stabs a single enemy with the handle of her axe and deals a lot of 1900 damage. Holy shit. Then you have all your stuff. And that's it. Okay. So we want to try you out. She's pretty cool. Oh, actually, hold on. God, there's so many. I just want to use all of them. Is that too much to ask? Her spells are pretty awesome. Although, you know what? I didn't really get to use this guy that much either. I haven't used the gym code that much. Oh, God. So good. Let's try that. Actually, no. Let's give that to you. You'll get this. Bowendale has potions still. Let's give you damage reduction. Potential. And you have 103 provisions. That's it. I was hoping for a little bit more. Maybe just a little bit more. So where are we going? We are heading up here. The Parish Land. And this is where we just came from, right? We were down all the way over here, and now we crossed the tunnels, and now we're up here. Alright. So, Pennyfield. I guess.
Rudacre is, contrary to what the name suggests, a large city. If Rodario is to be believed, more than 70,000 people live here, a number that you find it hard to even imagine. But while you walk through the streets, you don't doubt that it's the truth. Never before have you seen such huge masses of people.
If we are looking for somewhere to quench our thirst or for a roof over our heads, then I would recommend the Golden Well Tavern. And we can find everything we need for the rest of our journey at the Big Market. Just say where you want to go, Tungdill, and I'll show you the way.
The Big Market sounds amazing. Let's do that
The
first.
Big Market at the city's south gate certainly lives up to its name. You have never seen a market on such a scale. Stands, large and small, as far as the eye can see. Everything you could possibly need can be found here, as well as plenty of things that seem to have no use at all. While you push your way through the crowd to get to the trader Rodario wants to introduce to you, you overhear two peasants talking about elves.
No, I tell ya, it was elves. Pale skin, pointy ears.
Yeah, something strange is going on these days. Old Trundlewood from down Acrehill way said he saw some pointy ears too. Come to think of it, where's he been all week?
Here we are.
Rodario's sudden announcement draws your attention away from the locals to the tent that you're now standing in front of.
Welcome to Brand's Potpourri. Whatever your heart may desire, I can supply.
Okay. Yes, all of it. What else do we got? 10% chance to regenerate 20% health during a successful attack. Increase the damage of special attacks by 60%. Every 2 seconds during battle grants 1 extra action point. That sounds pretty good. Sure. Whoa! Oh, yes, right. Okay, I think that's going to be it. Now the golden
You follow Rodario through the lively streets until he reaches a run-down 2-story building. You hope that this dump isn't the tavern that Rodario recommends. You prepare yourself for the worst, but the inside of the tavern surprises you all. The walls are clad with dark, finely ornamented wood. The floor is clean, the tables are weighed down with good food, and a hot fire is burning in the fireplace. One should never judge a book by its cover. The guests look you over, full of curiosity, and many nod a greeting. The haggard woman behind the bar greets you loudly.
Rodario, you old rogue! What are you doing here? And you've got dwarves with you! I don't see one my whole life and then several come along in the same month.
We are on an important mission, Madame Flori, and could do with a place to stay the night.
Rodario introduces you and negotiates a good price for a few beds and a night's lodgings.
This must be the other expedition from the king.
Sorry for asking, but you said you'd seen some other dwarves recently.
You're thinking of Gandagar's group and wonder whether they might have reached the kingdom of the Firstlings already.
Yes, a nice bloke from the west. Paid for his room for a month in advance and then disappeared. Travelling lights.
The landlady's expression darkens.
That was 3 weeks ago. If he doesn't come back soon, I'll have to release the room.
It was just a single person? So not the party. Huh. Well...
You give Namora a sign and sneak onto the first floor. The half-elf appears moments later. To your surprise, she has Balandis with her, who must have caught something of what was said.
I want to know who the dwarf who is sneaking around here is. Perhaps he belongs to Gandagar's group.
After apologizing to various guests for intruding, you are left with just one untried door. Namora picks the lock, and you enter the room unseen. The room is bigger than all the rooms in the tavern you have seen so far, and all just for one guest. There are maps, various pieces of notepaper, and 3 notebooks on the table. The notes are partly written in Dwarvish, and partly in the language of humans. The 3 of you scan through them, until Balandis draws your attention to a map, on which the route from the kingdom of the Firstlings to the kingdom of the Firstlings is marked.
What would make a firstling travel to the perished land, or even to the kingdom of the Firstlings?
You believe you found an explanation.
Here, this letter. I have found a way, but I don't know if I will return safely with Star Slasher. That's why I leave to you, dear Barris, my notes, may you, and so on.
Star Slasher?
You have come across this name in the notes a few times already, but you just shrug your shoulders and throw the letter back onto the table in disappointment. You had hoped to have found out some news on the whereabouts of the other group.
A sword. Apparently it was given to Giselbert I and I by a caravan travelling from the other lands. It seems we're dealing with a treasure hunter.
Well, we already went to the big market, so I guess we just continue on our way. And... the only other things of interest, I guess, are going to be up here, so let's get going. Which way? Right up the middle? 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go up the middle.
You are woken with a jolt in the middle of the night by a blood-curdling scream. You look around in panic and see that the others have been woken too, but only Geralda has beads of sweat on her brow. She's breathing heavily. Concerned, you go over to her.
I can remember. The Alfar. They are doing experiments on the children of the Smith. We have to save them.
That would explain some things.
By Rakus, if the Alpha are experimenting on dwarves, we can't just ignore it. We have to free the prisoners. We can't save the world if we ignore the suffering right in front of our eyes. We will help Geralda.
Boandal and the others accept your decision. Geralda nods at you gratefully.
Alright, so where's this at? Somewhere nearby. She thinks that she's the result of these experiments. Even though the creation of Keen Fire is priority, you can't stand the thought of not helping dwarves in need. Alfar experiments. That's the main quest line. I mean, I'm guessing it has to be one of these things. Right?
When you reach Acrehill, there isn't a single villager in sight. An uneasy feeling creeps over you, which finally turns into certainty when you see red paintings on the walls of the houses.
Alpha.
As expected, you don't find any survivors, but there are also no undead. The perished land has not yet advanced this far. You discover some footprints on the northern edge of the village.
It was orcs. Looks as though they waited here while the point ears wreaked havoc in the village. It seems like they moved on towards the north.
Do you really want to?
The pictures, painted in blood, tell the horrifying story of how the Alfar came to the village and killed the inhabitants. You also find a few elaborately carved bones, some larger ones, like those of humans, some smaller and stronger, like those of dwarves. When you reach the other end of the village, disgust is written in the faces of your companions. None of you says a word. You gather all the bones you can find together and burn them. You wash over the paintings with water from the well. You weren't able to prevent this gruesome incident, but you don't want to leave a single trace of it behind.
Okay. Did this pop up when we got that quest? To save the people?
You walk through the villages that once blossomed, but are now deserted due to the advance of the perished land. The colour has drained away from the wood of many of the houses, just as it has from the countryside itself. A carpet of withered plants rustles and crackles under your feet. You don't know if the perished land can ever be driven away again, and even if it can, it is questionable whether people will ever live here again. You sigh, and try to drive these dark thoughts away from your mind.
Okay. I wonder if that quest is back here. I would have thought it would have popped up or something. Lake Fire.
The path to Lake Fire lies in front of you. That is where the dragon Brambusil is said to have dwelt, before being killed by the Firstlings, so they could light the dragon fire forge with his flames. Rodario sings a song about the dreadful might of the dragon, and you all look down into the flames below with reverence. When you finally turn away, you think you can see a slight look of sorrow in Boindill's face, sadness at the fact that the dragon has already been defeated by someone else.
Oh, God.
Ooh, do you smell that? Come! Oink, oink!
Without even waiting for you, Boindill runs over the hill and disappears behind it. You follow him, and as you reach the brow, you see a very strange scene before you.
Okay. Is this the experiment? I'm really hoping it is, because if it's not, then I think it's just in an unmarked point behind us.
I told you you shouldn't touch them.
But I was hungry.
That doesn't look like experiments. Okay. Just gonna get the action points. You'll get the action points. You'll get action points. You grab that. And then you just still have the potions. Get that one. Okay. Whoa, and we're in the thick of it. Okay. Move
What do you
these
need?
two up.
Makes sense.
Huh?
What is it? Oink, oink, little piggies!
Now, this I imagine would have friendly fire, probably.
I'm with you. And again. Yes, yes.
Okay, now we can do it.
Uh-huh.
What is it?
Double mighty blow.
What do you need?
Kill. And what
is it?
now?
Yes?
Activate your abilities.
Uh-huh.
Man, you really took a beating.
Attack!
That was good training.
Now!
He is lost in his bloodlust. So some of these are undead, right? Yeah. So we
Yes.
gotta kill them. Or take off their heads, I mean.
At once. Please wait a moment. On my way.
Fought well and
What
yet
is it?
lost.
He's lost in it again.
For the Firstlings!
Next.
That was good training.
Do your kick.
Yes.
I was expecting more of a battle.
Understood. And again.
And what
Now!
Head off. Oh, I just noticed her helmet too. That's pretty sweet.
What is it? Oink, little piggies! He already put up a
Right
fight.
away.
Nice.
Yes?
And what now?
Pavrakas!
Let's try the panic. Oh. No.
Who's next?
Did that panic? That didn't seem like it did.
Yes.
Huh?
Bowendale, go over here.
I'm with you. Oink, oink, little
What
piggies!
is it?
Uh-huh.
There we go.
What do you need?
Do your massive kick.
Good plan. For the Firstlings!
What is it?
Yep.
I was expecting more of a battle.
Vile creature!
Nice.
Fought well and yet lost.
And kick.
What do you need?
And kick. Panic. There it is. That actually worked. Ooh. Kick. Yeah.
Yes. Understood.
Let's move up.
And what now? Yes, so.
Okay, this is starting to get too much. What is it?
Uh-oh.
Uh-huh. On my way. Understood.
Fought well and yet lost.
Pavrakas!
There we go. Get up here. Get up here.
Vile creature!
What is it? Yes, so. Oink, oink, little piggies!
Makes sense.
You're gonna kind of hang up back a little bit.
Killed! Huh? I can't do that yet! End it!
Hold that
What
bridge.
do you need? Good plan.
Go up there and help Boindale.
Now?
Vile creature! Killed!
He hardly
What is
put
it?
up a fight! Huh? Oink, little piggies!
Yes.
Yeah!
Yes?
Just keep holding. Man, he is just a brute force.
And what
do you
now?
Makes sense. That was good training.
Vile creature!
I missed.
Pavrakas. Yes?
What is it? Oink, oink, little piggies!
Please wait a moment.
Yes.
What do you need?
All right, so we're done with
Sure.
that. Okay.
And again.
Get over here.
Who's next?
Huh?
Yes? Good plan.
Uh-huh.
Pavrakas! Attack! And again.
Yes.
All right.
Understood.
Get over
What
there.
is it?
And what now?
And he's gonna go around the other side. I doubt you can panic the undead, right? We'll try it. I guess you can. That seems a little weird, but we'll take it.
Yes?
Kick that dude.
What is it? Yes, yes!
I'm well and yet lost.
Huh? I can't do that yet.
Yeah!
What do you need?
Knock that guy down.
And what now?
That's it.
Vile creature. Attack!
Yeah.
Huh?
What do you need?
And what now?
Yep.
I was expecting more.
Come here, you!
Makes sense.
And again!
Sure. Good plan. Firstlings!
Ah, I missed.
Yes? At once. Kill!
There it is.
The chaotic battle between the orcs, the undead, and you comes to the best possible conclusion. No one else is standing but you. You decide to have a little look around.
Let's look at the Blackwater.
The closer you get to the murky pool, the worse it stinks of decay and death. At first you thought it was only dirty water, but for as much as you can make out through the gloom, it seems almost black and has wondrous streaks. It's a map of the surroundings. Not far from your current position is a place clearly marked with a red cross. Is it another orc camp, or even the Alfar camp? You mark the place on your own map.
Okay.
You discover a file that looks like the one Geralda carries with her. Before you can get a proper look at it, Geralda is suddenly standing next to you, and she wrenches it out of your hand. She turns it back and forth excitedly, but then disappointment spreads across her face. The container is empty. Without a word, she goes back to examining the surroundings.
Okay.
You tremble at the thought that you could end up the same way. You hope that one of your companions would have sympathy with you if you were to die in the perished land.
So we did find the Elfar camp, so that is good. And that's probably where we're going to be heading next. And then this is the exit? Okay. Well, that's going to do it for this episode, everybody. Thanks for watching. I will see you all next time. Take care.